Search and rescue is one of the hardest missions for firefighters. Coming up next, we'll show you new technology that's going to make that mission a little bit easier. Homeowners who think they'll get a piece of that $8.5 billion mortgage settlement need to keep a close eye on their mailboxes. Your bank will let you know if you're getting money through the mail. The tragedy of Monday's Boston explosions has left the nation highly emotional and desperate for answers. 10 years ago, for $6, you could get this huge stack of hay. But now, all you can get is this tiny pile. Sheriff Joe looking for some volunteers today for his school posse program, but a familiar face won't be making an appearance. A pilot had to ditch his small, homemade plane in Lake Pleasant last night. The pilot's wife reported him missing when he didn't return on time. Everyone else knows February 14th as Valentine's Day, but in the Grand Canyon State, we know it as Arizona's birthday. Police got a call about shots fired around midnight, and when they got to the scene, they found a 46-year-old man with several gunshot wounds. She's here to promote the Obama administration's Jobs Initiative, which will help develop and open factories here in the city of Mesa. NASCAR's Mexico is only 5 years old, but this is the first time that they're climbing into cars in America.
In a burning building, anything happens. First, you can't see anything. Okay, it's very hot.
Greg Granado has been a Phoenix firefighter for 23 years, and he says it's a challenge finding victims, listening to commands, and communicating with the crew.
It's a multitask situation.
When firefighters are lost or injured, they need to make noise to signal the crew to come near them. But that's hard because they also need to conserve their air. But this new device, the Glancer by Honeywell, makes it so much easier for them to find. Glancer, which stands for Geospatial Location Accountability and Navigation System, is a tracking device. Claire Miller, the vice president of marketing for Honeywell, says the technology goes beyond GPS.
A lot of times GPS can't penetrate a building. Each firefighter wear a unit that transmits information to other units and gets information to the outside commander.
The commander can see what floor a firefighter is on, the room he's in, and what direction he's moving. Granado is one of several firefighters testing the device.
He or she is here. He is in the northwest corner, middle of the room. That is so much easier for us.
The same technology that we've used to navigate airplanes now will navigate firefighters.
Unfortunately, Miller says it's too soon to tell when Glancer will be on the market.
This is an early stage of research, and we want to make sure that this works and it's accurate.
Right now, Glancer weighs 8 pounds, and Honeywell is hoping to cut that number in half. But Granado says that with about 76 pounds of equipment already on his back, he can't even feel the life-saving device.
I think it's awesome. You know, thank goodness for these people.
Reporting in Phoenix, Ariyanna Norman, Cronkite News.
I came out to see the diving lady. As she's relit in all her glory, she's electrifying.
Marshall Shore, who calls himself the hip historian, was one of dozens gathered at the Starlight Motel when a gorgeous brunette in a green swimsuit made her first dive in more than 2 years. Vic Linoff, the president of the Mesa Preservation Foundation, beamed at the revival of the historic sign.
We couldn't be more pleased. She looks probably exactly the way she did when it was first turned on in 1960.
So what's next for the Mesa Preservation Foundation? Linoff hopes the city of Mesa will negotiate the purchase of the Buckhorn Baths Motel.
The voters said, just like the sign, that's important, and we're asking you to fund through bonds the purchase of the Buckhorn.
Voters have already approved funding, and $5 million has been allocated to researching the building's condition.
There most likely was a tank and that.
On a tour of the grounds, Linoff said he envisions an exhibit with a special photo tribute to spring training celebrities. So this is the actual spa right here. There were baths filled with mineral water, massage tables, and special locker rooms just for the baseball players who stayed here, such as the Giants and the Cubs. With the exception of a few on-site tenants, most of the Buckhorn is closed and collecting dust. But Linoff hopes in 5 to 7 years, it'll be time for another grand reopening. And Marshall says the wait will be worth it.
I do. I want to go take a mineral bath. I mean, the tubs are amazing.
Reporting in Mesa, Ariyanna Norman, Cronkite News. From rodeo shows to equestrian competitions, horse riding is a big part of Arizona's Western culture. For Victoria Small, it's a soothing escape.
It's like a form of therapy for me to be able to ride and just be with my horse and away from people for a while.
Victoria's horse, Magic, is one of 55 boarded here at her mother's barn, the Royal Star Equestrian Center. But increasing hay prices have been tough on owners and boarders alike.
Unfortunately, the past 6 months, 3 barns have gone out of business in town. So currently, I'm doing very well.
10 years ago, for $6, you could get this huge stack of hay. But now, all you can get is this tiny pile. Holly says prices have nearly tripled over the past 10 years. And if the trend continues, she'll need to increase the board fee and eventually start feeding her clients' horses only twice a day.
My horses at my barn, they get fed 3 times a day. Some barns only feed twice a day. But it's very important. They're a grazing animal. You know, they're used to grazing 24/7.
According to the Arizona Farm Bureau, hay prices are going up because production costs like labor, fertilizer, and tractor diesel are up too. As for Victoria, she'll continue to save to afford Magic. But if prices continue to rise, she'd even consider selling the horse she loves.
Magic means a lot to me, but I have to take care of myself too. And if someone else could take care of him better than I can, I'd have to go for that.